Hey everybody, thank you for clicking on this video, especially because you probably know what you're getting into with this if you've seen how long this video is. I did not intend on it being that long, so I apologize greatly for that. I never watch many tier list videos, but thank you Glitch Entertainment for the suggestion to make a tier list video. I took it, and here it is, and I hope you all enjoy it. These are all my personal opinions, so I hope I don't offend anybody or anything. This is not on the basis of like writing standards or what's good and what isn't. This is just my opinion. So hope you enjoy. Carl and Judy are the first kills of the movie and are also Liv's parents. We don't know anything else about them, but it does seem that Carl and Judy really do love each other and had a beautiful family together before, getting trapped in Willy's Wonderland. C tier. Alright, let's get this one out of the way because you know exactly where this guy's going. The janitor is personally one of my all-time favorite characters out of any media I enjoy in general. He's a blank slate, he's a mystery, and he is a badass. Wish there was more of the movie dedicated to him. He is awesome. S tier. Jed is a bit of an underrated character, I feel like, because he is a total psycho if you really think about it. Ignoring the comics here for a second, just in the movie, think about it. He's helping Tex and the sheriff kill innocent people by luring them into Willy's Wonderland, and he's clearly fine with it, and he enjoys it. He even keeps the missing posters of the people he helped go missing. That's freaky. That's crazy. To me, he's a broken man with a dark side. B tier. Liv is a bit blank, not in the same way as the janitor, just kind of bland, but overall seems good intentioned by trying to stop the killings happening in town and destroy Willy's once and for all. Her friends seem to really respect her and rarely question her actions because of that trust. She's also worthy enough in the eyes of the loner, drifter, the janitor, to let her ride alongside him and even drink a punch pop at the end, creating a new generation of Jay and Silent Bob. B tier. Sheriff Lund is a personal favorite of mine as well, as she simply just interests me. Her motives are always counterproductive, and anytime there's a fix to an issue, she completely ignores it. It's not clear if she really likes getting people killed or not, as she's tried avoiding it in the past and seems very upset to find out that Liv's friends died. But she still does it. She still helps Willy and the gang instead of just letting the janitor end everyone's troubles. It's interesting to me, and she says a lot of funny stuff, so A tier. Tex is another funny character that I also very much enjoy, as he seems very ego-driven, judging by the way that he name-drops himself and dresses, and that big T for Tex on the front of his car. He says funny stuff, dresses like Boss Hogg, and is overall a shady businessman. He also seems to genuinely not want to do what he does, and is likely just a fool tricked into buying a place where people got murdered and continue to. And speaking of continued, he continued that tradition willingly of letting people get killed at Willy's Wonderland. So, yeah, and he also unintentionally causes his own death, so A tier. Chris is a simp. Very clearly doesn't even care if people are dying at Willy's. He just wants to get closer to Liv. He's quite a bit dumb most of the time, likely because all he does is think with the wrong organ, and overall, Chris sort of got everyone killed. So, yeah, and he failed at his mission to get closer to Liv, so E tier. Bob, or Bobby, whichever you prefer to call him, really feels like he wasn't a part of the quote-unquote friend group as long as the others. He also pretty much just thinks only with his Willy Weasel and isn't bothered by what's happening. He cares enough to still go with Liv and the rest, but seems to lose focus pretty quickly once they get inside, so he has a couple of decent lines though, so E tier. Kathy is just as ignorant as Bob, and actively gets them both killed as a result. Some of her dialogue kind of makes me cringe a bit, but she's not the worst by any means. She's just there to look pretty and get murdered. Once again, E tier. Dan is the only one that questions Liv's actions, which means he's probably the smartest one there, to be completely honest. All we know about him is that he grows weed, he smokes it, and Willy definitely wants some. Not much else to say. D tier for not being horny all the time like the others. Aaron tags along with Liv and the rest on a mission to end the killing of innocent people by burning down Willy's Wonderland. Yet he doesn't seem to care if they leave somebody in the building to die. Very strange, not a bad character though, just wish he would have survived maybe a little bit longer. D tier. Next we got Jerry Robert Willis, the serial killer possessing Willy Weasel himself. Despite being played by the lovable and overall awesome Grant Kramer, he still comes off as a creepy serial killer, which is what they were going for, so good job, by the way. He and his gang of cultists all make for a good and creepy flashback scene in the movie, which wouldn't be possible without Grant's great work playing the character. A tier. And finally, for the human characters, we have Deputy Evan, who is just a poor sucker who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He seems good intentioned, but he still helps the sheriff at the end of the day, and he's in major denial about what he's done, what he's doing, and who he's becoming, which at the very least means he feels guilt, unlike the others involved. Wish he could have lived to get home to see his family at the very least. B tier. Now for the animatronic characters. Ozzy is a funny one to me because all the other characters are humanoid animals, but Ozzy is just a normal-looking ostrich. Ozzy's death scene itself is also super iconic and is probably the second best fight scene in Willy's Wonderland. Overall, I like that the character only speaks once, but he is definitely the weakest, I must mention, which I guess that, will take away some, I don't know, A tier. Nighty Night is also such a cool character, which I thank Nicolas Cage himself for suggesting the character as a replacement for who was originally in Nighty's place, Pirate Pete. His design doesn't make much sense because the animatronics feast on people to stay alive, presumably, so how does Nighty eat if he has no mouth? Unless he does have one, which is terrifying to think about. Other than that, his design is super cool, and I love his death scene as well. A tier. Guess doesn't make much sense and talks too much for my liking, but so do I, so it's fine. The bathroom scene is epic and funny and makes up for it all. Gus is also a gorilla animatronic, and this is a bit cheap, but I love Showbiz Pizza's Fats character, who's also a gorilla, so, he's my favorite, so Gus, yeah, he gets a B tier. He gets B tier. Siren Sarah, who's in fact a pixie and not a siren, she's probably the one I don't like. I'll be completely honest. Please don't kill me. I don't like her that much. Her dialogue makes me cringe a bit, not because of the voice actor by any means, but because of what's being said and the way the dialogue is written. She doesn't fit into the rest of the band as much as the others, even alongside the other human character, quote-unquote human. Nighty Night is who I'm referring to, of course. She uses mostly CGI and does crazy stuff that even for a demonic animatronic kind of looks weird. I'm sorry, but E tier. Tito is a funny character and seems like a pretty chill guy for a serial murderer in a turtle suit. His death scene is a bit over the top, but it's Willy's Wonderland, so I forgive it. Overall, his design and character are fine. I'm pretty neutral towards him, to be honest. He's a fine character. C tier. Cammy's another character I don't like as much. Her dialogue is written poorly, in my opinion, in addition to her colorful skin thing, which makes no sense to me whatsoever, at least, but yeah, whatever. Her tongue gimmick thing is also excusable because of the whole demon-possessed thing, plus the other characters technically have tongues too, like Artie, so yeah. It's crazy she lasted so long throughout the film, and her death scene is amazing, one of my favorites. But the scene in the arcade is a little lackluster in my opinion, so D tier. Artie is a cool character, even if he is a bit freaky. I appreciate him not speaking too. His CGI and the vent scenes are a bit iffy, but overall harmless like the other CGI scenes. It's a low-budget movie, I don't care. Another character to thank Nicolas Cage for its existence, by the way. Death scene is pretty cool too, but weighed down a bit by the other thing that's happening in that scene. A tier. Now, last but not least, Willy Weasel himself is probably the best character out of all of the animatronics, in my opinion. The way he remains on stage throughout most of the film until the end and plans everything and seamlessly commands the others telepathically like chess pawns towards the janitor is so cool to me. At least we can assume that's kind of what's happening. He's actually scary too, which is exactly what was needed for that finale in the movie, as the others are kind of tongue-in-cheek, but Willy is really menacing. Speaking of the finale, the final battle is amazing. The way Willy makes these terrifying bear-like growls and noises during the fight is just awesome to me. It makes me all the more glad that he doesn't speak other through his singing voice and, that kind of stuff, and that really adds a lot to it. He is 100% the perfect character out of all the animatronics. A tier. You're still here. Okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope I didn't butcher the script too much, because this was the first video I actually wrote a script for, so it took a while. It took a while. Not a long while, but it took a while. I'm not saying I'm proud or anything, I'm just saying, like, yeah, hope I didn't ruin it. So thank you all for watching. I do have some more video ideas coming up soon, and again, thank you Glitch Entertainment for this awesome idea. I never watched too many tier list videos or anything, and I never thought I'd be making one. So yeah, it was actually pretty fun. It was very nice. Hope I didn't upset anybody with my opinions. And I'll see you guys on the next one.